All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the preview. We're going to start over here with Stolquist, and then we'll weave our way down through. As always, thanks to everyone for coming on behalf of Jay and Barbie. I know they appreciate it. As far as the rest of the day goes, we'll have the sale there at 1 o'clock. The preview for anyone that needs to watch online is on Blake Kennedy's Facebook page, McCormick Livestock and Marketing Facebook page, as well as the Walton Facebook page. So anyone that is not here can watch it there. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start here with Stolquist.
Today we brought a pair of Yorkshires that we're very, very high on. We typically don't do live sales. We got a very big sale at the farm here this week, but Jay's been very good to us, and we wanted to kind of parade what we got coming up here. But this is a bachelor, which is a boar that we kept that would be a lonesome walks alone son, and then the mom would be an all by myself gilt out of walks alone's mom. So it's about as good as I got from a Yorkshire standpoint. All our blood, top and bottom side. I guess if you're wanting to buy a Yorkshire show gilt that I feel is obviously she's got to stay healthy, but she's definitely got all the indicators that she would be tough to get around at multiple points of her life, whether it's early, late, or be very successful as a sow. That's as good as I can do. Where this breed maybe struggles a little bit in terms of length of hip or length of step, that's about as good as it gets from a comfort standpoint. I love her look up front. I don't need to over-promote her, but that gilt I like quite a bit. And then the male is a Castaway on Lonesome Sister. Very good litter of pigs. So that's lined up. Lonesome. Castaways, the boar at Platts. We've bred quite a few here too for this go around, which he'd be a lonesome on that Rotoball gilt that won a couple years back there at Expo. That it was a very good gilt. They put back in their herd. But anyway, so we're just lining up the lonesome here. From a barrel standpoint, I think he's got a very big window. Jackpot, Expo, Louisville, and possibly into a state fair, I think fairly handily. From a boar standpoint, I don't know that I've had a better Yorkshire boar at this point from the early indicators in terms of length of body and hip and hind leg, early hair. Pasterns are real good, phenomenal litter, and that's our lined up Yorkshire blood. Either way, boar or barrow, that's as good as I can do. Feel our Yorkshire program has been a big part of the Yorkshire ring here last couple of years, and we want to continue to plant our feet and continue to make it better. And hopefully we brought a good example of what we're trying to do. Thanks, Jake.
The next breeder in will be Olson Farms.
We brought two 68 litters. These are Paint the Picture on Insider Trading. Paint is the boar we sold Platt and established in Texas in 23. He was 50,000. The gilt, as we see, is one that can show early in a big ring and stretch throughout the summer. And then the male we see in several different settings: the Boar Prospect, Jackpot, and then the national shows in early setting. The gilt is lot 184, and the male is tag 160.
Next breeder in will be Kanoth Show Pigs.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out this morning. We've got lot 181. That's the bigger one there. And then lot 182 would be his littermate brother, a little bit smaller. Right Day, Play It Cool, and Right Day was a rightfully so who was a Play It Cool. So intensely line bred, very neat looking, short back, tall shouldered, with a really, really good hind leg. I think this pair works very good for August or even later if you want to. They're young, they're immature. We picked them out of the nursery on Thursday last week, and they've had a good week in terms of mentally. If you've been to enough of these sales, my stuff's a little crazier, but we're making progress. But lot 181, 182, very high on this pair of crossbred male pigs. This will be our next pair. We bought 4 total. The black-headed guy, there's lot 158. That's our leadoff. He's out of Stop and Stare. The Buckle Up Son on Dragon, the 41 litter sow we've got at the house, is the mother of him, and she's appears to be a generator. Her litter out of Lead the Way was real good this time around. But so Stop and Stare, top that, which was a Next Intention son. So a lot of Next. Balanced out with a lot of Never Before. I like that pig a great deal in terms of stoutness, squareness. Very, very large limbed for his maturity curve and his weight and his size and his age. Was still a neat look and a tight throat, and very neat show pig, I think, there. And the bigger one there, he's definitely not broke. He's a little higher strung. That's a Wide Awake, Turning Tricks. Mom would be one of Lead the Way's littermate sisters. Just getting those girls going. That's their first litter there. We bred one to Stop and Stare, one to Wide Awake. Definitely going to be a little later coming, a little bigger animal. I think will look really, really nice as a heavyweight come early to mid-August. I think that one's going to surprise some people in terms of just as he matures, he'll get bolder and stouter and broader and just have the right maturity pattern, but definitely not going to cooperate as much today. So that's lot 201. So 158 and 201. And thanks, everybody, for coming, and we can get them out back there if you want to see them again here before the sale. So thank you all.
The next breeder that we'll have come in will be Jake Gossett, and he's got one entry.
Just for clarity, I'm not Jake Gossett. Tony Morris. If you stick around long enough, you can get the lyrical musings of Jake Gossett, but right now he's stuck in traffic in Indianapolis, so it's not in Summitville. It's hard to find a traffic jam in Summitville. This is lot 162. This is a hang tight Messiah. The Messiah sow would be one that came from Moyers that I bought and my family showed. She won her class at Expo and NJSS and had a really successful summer for my daughter Charlie. And this is a hang tight. This entire litter, they're just really moderate, boxy, stout, good built ones. I think this one's great. Midwest State Fair size. I think this one could paint a pretty good picture then. But hang tight Messiah.
The next pair of them that comes in will be from Yanis.
Thank you. When Jay asked us for the invite there, obviously wanted to come and bring something that mattered, and we brought a pair of Midwest State Fair prospects here, and I would tell you these are the kind we generally sell off the farm privately rather than run through a sale ring, very candidly, but our Chester, these pigs just came off the nursery decks 3 days ago, so they're just still settling in. But this starts our Midwest State Fair category in terms of size. The Chester's a WD-40. He comes out of a 7-year-old sow. That's a very old-school pedigree on the backside here. Would be a direct jack in the box, made to order, and then there's some classic steel and back on open roads mother back in there from a long time ago standpoint. I would tell you our intentions are this one comes with a barrel pedigree. Unless you have more aspirations, I need to hear from you prior to the sale. The spotted pig is a limitless, and this would be a first litter gilt. Mother would be some frozen downtown semen. We bred our Big Bam sow that we paid $15,000 for. Year I judged Kansas City that was reserve grand purebred gilt to downtown. So there's some really cool, interesting stuff on the bottom side there. But limitless, downtown, Big Bam on the bottom of that one. And I do think that one's built for the long haul in terms of kind. Size is very, very comfortable into August on both of these pigs with ease, in my personal opinion. Thank you for having us, Jay.
Next breeder in will be Platt.
The Platt entry comes in and be tag 157. That's going to be a canoe. That's the Turning Tricks boar that we have there, the studded upper hand. And then its mom is the then and now Heimer Bluegill. Brantley would have shown she was reserve light at Expo. Litter mate to her was then reserve light at Indy. So pretty excited to get those two sows rolling a little bit. This is the first litter of them, obviously, with the canoe there mating. Seems like it worked pretty good. I think this pig here, just a extremely heavy bone, still with a neat look, right proportions. Probably going to feed all summer long, I'd say. Even maybe some boar attributes about him as well. But that is tag 157, canoe, then and now. The next one is the Thompson entry, so this would be tag 154. Pedigree is Fasten Up Top Shelf. Fasten Up is the Buckle Up Never Before from Canouth. That boar's mom is the same mother as Lead the Way. And then the Top Shelf sow here would be a litter mate to the Buffalo Trace boar that we have there at Upper Hand as well. Pretty neat pig here. Been excited to kind of bring him out to this setting here. First time on that gilt to go through. I think a pig that probably feeds all summer. You can jackpot, maybe even some boar attributes on him as well. Once again, thanks to Jay and the crew here for putting on a good sale and a great set of pigs that we've got back here to look at.
Next breeder in will be Reynolds.
The Reynolds pair here, the leadoff pig would be the Chester boar. He would be tag 163. He's a crown prince fit for a king. Littermate gilts very well received at the live sales and our online sale the other night. The crossbred would be tag number 186. He'd be a happy hour the king. His mother would be the grandmother of the boar Top Rope at Upper Hand. Again, like everybody says, appreciate Jay putting on an event up here. We don't have to drive so far to get into one of Jay's events, and certainly always appreciate how he handles them, how he runs them and promotes them. No place we'd rather be than right here today. So this is the Reynolds entries. The Chester would be 163. The cross is 186.
Next breeder will be Roy and Colvin.
First off, I'd just like to say thanks to Jay and Barbie for inviting us out here. The gilt is going to be lot 193. That's an outspoken Titan on the bottom side. Her mom is a full sib to the bear that won Indiana State Fair last year. And then the male hog is going to be a Soul Gravy, which is our boar. He's 177. And then on the bottom side is also going to be a full sib to that bear that won State Fair last year. So that's directly lined up, brother-sister basically. So I think both of those are really good. I think that gilt's probably as unique as we've ever put together. So if you guys got any questions, just holler at me in the back. Thanks.
I will tell you guys as we work through these things as well, the new to the established, I guess for those of you that aren't familiar with kind of the way Jay does it in the South, he just kind of puts the new breeders in at the bottom of the sale or the bottom of the rounds and just throws them in there as a group. So no real rhyme or reason as the way he puts the end of the sale order together, just the new breeders kind of sell there at the end of the round. So next breeder in will be DJ Sanders.
Yeah, thanks, Jay and Barbie, for having us out. This will be our leadoff pig. He's lot 167. We've been excited about this one since he was born, and he'd be a wide awake, quite frankly, snafu rock star. Grandma would actually came from Fisher's. We bought her off Fisher, went out there, and she'd be a mate to the third overall gilt there that Max showed at San Antonio that year. And this comes from a special litter. We're going to keep all them gilts. We did offer one the other night, and she brought like 4,000 online, but we're going to keep the rest of them. And I think this male's got a unique, I guess, look and build, and for being his pedigree, I think he he's assembled right. So I think this one goes boar, barra, however you want to show him. We like this pig quite a bit. The next pair that we'll be dropping in is a pair of Yorkshires that we also been excited for. The gilt would be lot 191, and then the male would be lot 203. These would be our first litters of automatics, which would be the Lorenzen boar there at Laird's. We thought he would work back on some of our stuff, and it seems like when me and Tracy mix our stuff, it works pretty good. And then so they'd be automatics back on Warden's best litter mate sister. We think the gilt, just one of them. She didn't quite want to fill up, I guess, the best today, but I think that's a big green type of show gilt that can get along and win early and often, I guess. We like that one quite a bit. And then the male, I think that one's just unique, his length of body and his build. We like that one quite a bit as well. So I guess a pair of Yorkshires, they would be automatics, walk the walks, which would be Warden's sister.
Next breeder in will be Hofschulte.
Well, we always try to bring our best out of Jay's sales, and I would like to commend Jay. That establishment sale that he had at Texas was probably one of the best sales I've seen last season, and I wish we're going to bring back the West Coast or no? Damn, that West Coast is a fun time. But yeah, this hog right here, let's see, he's 18-5. It'd be a surrounded hero. I always try to line up good sows with pedigrees, and it seems like just consistency. This litter, anyone that's seen the 18 litter knows how consistent this was. And I mean, that litter was. And I mean, this was the man in the litter, and we thought we'd bring the best one here. I mean, just a stout mugged one. I don't know, bear a boar, whatever you want to do. I think this is probably what, I mean, I'm just going to make the statement and say that's probably the best one we've ever brought to a live sale. I like that pig quite a bit. Let's see, the next pig we bring in here would be 22-2. It'd be a patiently waiting backdrop. That sow, the grandmother of this one would be the mother of Daylight there at Brockman's. We own that sow with Day Family Show Pigs, or Justin Day and family. This litter was incredible too, and I think this bear is really good where a lot of them need to be better with the chest, roundness of body, and he still has shape up high. Hot kind of twists in right now, but I think that I'd rather be that way than the opposite. You can push that pig, I believe, and you won't have to worry about that thing's hind leg ever getting outside of itself. He still uses his rear leg good. Love that thing's head. Like I said, brought you two pigs that I think are awfully good. I think that one right there's got bright potential. Just not only, I think he'll last a while just because his chest is good underneath, and he's got shape up high. If you got any questions, just hit us up in the back. And once again, thanks, Jay, for having us out.
Next in will be Kilmer Swine Farm.
Thanks, Jay, for having us. I know we always like coming to your sales. You do it top class, so thank you. The first entry, this is lot 202, be a Hampshire boar. He'd be a remedy back on a hands down. The hands down sow is the sow we refer to as the Edwards sow quite a bit. Last year, she had the champion Hamp Barrett Perry down there at the Winter National. The Kilmer kid showed a Hamp Gilt out of her last summer that was 4th overall Hamp Gilt at the exposition, and he'd be a mate to the bearer we sold last weekend at First Chance. So that's lot 202, Hampshire boar. The other two Kilmer lots would be lot 166 and 190. They would be Yorkshire boars. They would be Think Twice, which that is a boar there at Crossroads that we've started using pretty heavily. That the mom goes back to one of those Dominator clones we have of the Kilmer's North American Gilt from a couple years ago. And then the sow would be an all by myself, then back on one of those clones. So there's two shots of that Dominator clone in this one. These two boars' pedigree. The mom, I think she was 3rd or 4th overall in her division at Exposition last year. Just a really stout, fun one to breed. I think they exhibited her as a pure influence at Summer Type Conference, and then she was, I think she was reserve champion pure influence as well. So pretty much 2 shots of that Dominator clone in this one. A lot of confidence in these York boars.
Next in will be Jackpot Genetics.
A pair of them from us here. The pig to your right, I guess, at the front. That'll be our leadoff, tag number 170. That pig will be a Woke, Believe in Me, Hull Pass. His mother would have raised our reserve Grand Gilt at Illinois there in 23. She'd be the grandmother of the Schley boar they call El Guapo, that they bought for $10,000 there at the upper echelon sale of Hofschulte's last fall. A pig that just epitomizes a lot of things that we try to do in terms of structure, in terms of build, and yet just has a few parts and pieces to him that is extremely, extremely hard to make, in our opinion. Our next one, 194, closest to you there, the wider belted pig. That pig is a new season Ascension, tricked out. Ben goes back to our good unicorn sow. A pig that just, I think, will put his head in the feeder every day, keep you between the ditches, I think, and just be an awesome one for a young person's project here in the state of Indiana. So here, 170 is the Woke, and 194 there, closest to you, will be the new season. Thanks again to Jay for having us, and for sure, I would love to come talk to you in the back if you have any questions or like us to spin them again. Thank you.
Next in will be Chad Day.
The pair we brought here, purebred Hampshire Gilt there and purebred Yorkshire Barra. Both of these here would be out of 2 good sows there at our place. We're pretty high on the Yorkshire Barra. That's a no hesitation, stay true, Stella. That one there, mother would have raised the Bloomberg Gilt there a couple years ago. That was a record seller there at Louisville. And she's done a very good job for us throughout the last few years here in terms of consistency and feedability of them things. The Hampshire Gilt is a remedy. That one's a remedy, doing time, hands down. We've got about, I think there's 3 or 4 of those 26 litter sows that we kept out of that first litter, out of that hands down sow, which would have been the buyer's gilt we bought at Summer Type there a few years ago that won the open show. She was the $18,000 high seller. She's doing a real good job for us. So both of these here, I think, got the right build at this stage in the game to kind of be dictated for wherever you want to think. Get them headed in the right direction there. Let you feed them as hard or as slow as you want to feed them. But maturity on those Hampshires at this stage in the game, we're pretty excited about that one as well there for what she can do for a big ring type of a gilt there. I guess the York Bear, what is he, 173 is a tag number. The Hampshire Gilt's 197.
Next breeder in, we'll have High Point.
Well, like everybody says, I wanted to say reach out to Jay and Barbie. There's one thing I can tell you that nobody probably – there's very few people in this barn. I knew Jay's dad. Dave McCormick was a legend in Texas. There's very few people that are of the age like I am. And Jay came from good stock, and he had big shoes to follow. And he can't follow Dave's – nope. Dave McCormick is one of the greatest ones ever. But anyway, so this first pig in here, the 5-2, this is a beast mode, which is a boar we raise and own partnership with Goss's. This sow is a litter mate to the champion Hampshire Bear at Houston last year. So we got 5 of these sows that we're going to be building around. We kept this pig. I know he's one of the bigger ones in the barn, but we kept him just to bring him to this sale. We had chances to sell him many, many times. So study the pig. I'm not going to try to explain him. But we're pretty excited about this one. The next 2 we're dropping in, so this would be a litter mate sow. Like I said, we got 5 of these 36 litter, and we bred her to Driving Force there at Premium Blend. I was talking to Will back here a little bit ago. We've got another litter of these Driving Forces, and the maturity pattern on these Driving Forces to me is a little different than I expected, but to me in the end is probably going to be just what they need to be. I'm very excited about just how these hogs, they looked clubby chubby on the sow. They came out, they weaned. I thought, wow, those hogs look a little different. In the last 10 days, these hogs have changed a bunch. So has the other litter at home. I'm just telling you, these Driving Force pigs study the maturity, study the pattern, and I think when the summer is over, I think these Driving Force hogs are going to surface probably at the top end of a lot of shows. I really believe in these hogs. So.
Next in will be Corb.
Well, these will be Corb Farms entries here. So we'll start with tag 159 there. That's the belted hog. That's going to be my leadoff. That'd be a Woke, Saddle Up's mom, which would be a No Huddle, King of the Hill, Cruel Best Man. We've done well with that kind of line of that lineage. And if you would have went to Coalition last week, this would be a litter mate to the high seller there at that sale. So one I saved back for this event, one that I like a good deal, and probably one of my favorites for the state fair season. So that's a Woke, No Huddle, tag 159. That's a 6-litter pig. The blue one here is going to be, I think that's tag 183. That would be an all-out, never before. Sal's been around a while. I would have sold a pig called Hand of God out of this sow that at at one of Jay's sales down south at the Major League Pig Sale, brought a good chunk of change. Unfortunately, died just a little too early. She's made other pigs. We sold a Board of Laird's, had multiple county fair, multiple class winners at state fairs. She's just been a great sow for us over the years. Finally kind of figuring out how to breed her, and anytime you can kind of stay close to the next or tricked out stuff, it just seems to work. So a good blue option. A lot of these shows anymore are having light cross options. So we like both these a great deal, saving them both back, and always enjoy a Jay McCormick pick sale.
Next breeder in will be Dylan Sheese.
The first two in for us are a pair of December red gilts, 198 and 205. 205 is the more orange tinged one. She's an artwork on a boar we called 30-1. He was a bomb squad tall boy son. Grandma here is the old mastermind sow. Be the same grandma as Platt's 4th overall breeding gilt there at Nail. Artworks have done good and had a good run there. She's got a little birthmark on kind of her show side, but it's a shade of red. I don't think that'll really be an issue. I think that one's a neat big one, neat immaturity, and kind of a good look out front. The 198 is a paint-a-picture on Slumlord's sister, 77.6. That's a main character. She'd raised a Stewart gilt that we sell at Knaut's farm sale last year. She was 3rd overall red gilt there at CPS. I think that one's another one stretching kind of the late August or the early August, late July window for a December red gilt. Neat looking, heavy boned, and got a real good kind of a sow pedigree behind her. This is tag 174, Duroc boar. He's a paint-a-picture out of 34.8. She'd be a main character playing on it. Her mom's a mate sister to 34.7, which would have raised Genner's Grand at Ohio last year. Around the rim, throwing darts. This pig's actually a full sib in blood to a boar we have at the house we call Big X. This one's mom actually kind of looked like the generator of the two. She had like a September litter and a May litter. And they haven't been the easiest to market, but she's had good pigs, finally got her bred right. Thought this pig represented a neat kind. We kind of held him back for this deal. I think kind of has some boar features in terms of just head shape, arm, blade, and just natural spread. But he looks like he could be a very good kind of a red barra. I would say Expo, kind of Louisville-sized in 3-2 Duroc male. Thanks to Jay and Barbie for the invite. We're excited to be a part of it and brought a trio of reds.
Our next breeder in will be Danner.
Hello. I don't know if I'm the A team, but we brought a Hampshire male. His ear notch is 59.1. He's a reach around. How you doing? If you have any specific questions, you can text Blake or Chris, and they'd be happy to answer any of those. And if you want us to get the pig out in the back, let us know. Emma and I'd be happy to help you with that. Thanks for having us.
Our next breeder in will be Byers Farms.
Well, thanks, and thanks to Jay for the invite here to his inaugural event up here in the Midwest, and we're new to the established sale here the fall, and it's been a good experience so far. Saved a very, very good one here. This is a name brand, which would be a boar we raised out of the January crop last year. That would be a statement day creation. That sow would have made the reserve barrow at Houston, the reserve guild at Houston this past spring, and just made the reserve grand barrow of Platts there at the Southeast Regional, or at the Winter National, I guess, here just a couple weeks ago. So this gilt here would be a name brand back on a litter mate to rise up at Laird's and the road ahead. That is now currently at Crossroads. She is in early December, age-wise.
Next in will be Albright Swine Farms.
Well, it's always a fun time to come to Jay and Barbie's events, and again, thank you for the opportunity. Two pigs that we've kind of saved back through our sales this spring or this winter so far. 161 would be an all-out, stay the course, safe word. Grandmother would have raised the grand and sixth out at MLE this past year. You might just drop them both in. This guy will drive better, probably. And one we've kind of always thought we wanted to breed sows to. I guess buyers can do as they wish. But he's always been a very, very neat little pig in terms of his hair and his build and presence. This is the sow's second litter. Her first litter is going to show here this winter in the Southwest, and she had a $50,000 litter in her first go. The chromed up pig there is 185. That is a power play pace car. That pace car was never shown, never offered. We wouldn't let her go at home, and she was a very, very impressive critter to look at. Barra or boar, if I could mass produce barras that look like that, I'd be a very, very happy pig breeder there. But he's certainly state fair sized as well. So these guys do like to act a little better normally, but a two that we've held back and specifically brought to Lebanon. So we're excited about them and their value. Come back and chat with us if you'd like. But again, thanks for the opportunity.
Next in will be Keplinger.
Well, thanks, Jay, for having us out to the established, and always a good time. And he always puts on a top-notch, sale for sure. Our first lot we're going to drive in is tag number 200. He's a wide-open, cuss-a-little, dark side. So this Barra is a pure influence. So he is eligible there for those summer shows there at the NJSS and Exposition. And then wide open is that wide awake son there at Premium Blend Genetics at Stauffer would have raced. Yeah, we need to do a better job at home, Eli and Evan. Hopefully you guys are watching. Next pair we have in is lot number 151. That's a young lady in the dark shirt. That's going to be a wide open, tricked out breaking rules. That tricked out sow in behind there would be a litter mate to the sow we call Baby Girl. She'd have been the grand gilt there in 22 at Ohio. The grandmother of this pair would have been the mother of the Grand and Reserve Barras there at Ohio last summer. And then she would also be responsible as the grandmother of that 71 litter that we would have sold in our last online sale. So we got tag number 151 and tag 178. Here again, thanks, Jay, for having us.
The next pair in will be from S&K, and Scott has asked me to talk these pigs. The blue male is tag 152. He is a canned heat backdrop Cruel Fortune. I remember seeing that pig here this week when his picture came up on Facebook, and man, I think for a blue one, I think is awfully good. The right type of skeletal build, hip length, just rear leg motion from the side is really good. Real good looking one that's got some muscle. A nice pig there in tag 152. He's a canned heat. And then the gilt will be 179. That one is a canned heat, all in Dirty Secret. And we got that pig out last night. I think one that will be a real good show gilt. And those of you buyers that are looking for one that maybe lay back into the sow herd, really good. And just in terms of her center body cavity, bone and features, really good. An awfully nice gilt there from S&K. So thanks to Scott and Levi and Grace for bringing a really good pair here today. Next breeder in will be Alec Adkins.
Well, thanks, Shay, again for having us also. You know, if anyone has ever been to the established or any thing that Jay's a part of, he does a tremendous job. Brought two Berkshires. The black-legged one is going to be the leadoff pig. He's 141, I believe. 171, sorry. To be To the Moon, the boar there at 333, the Beeman boar there. He's actually bred by Goss. And then Bless Scouts Honor. The mom would be a $16,000 baby pig purchase that we would have purchased from Wintex. The sow is, you know, she's going to make her mark. I hope, you know, these pigs kind of don't look like Berkshires in some areas. We're very proud of them. I think they have a very high future. 204 is the other pig. Mate, we're also going to take a gilt there to the connection pig sale that's a mate to these two particular males. That girl pig is very, very impressive herself. next one in will be tag 195. Should be a picture perfect next. Play it cool. Breaking rules is our extended pedigree gilt that I kind of had saved back, and I thought it was unique to bring her here. Mom would be a litter mate to Camel Mason's Grand at San Angelo in 24 last time. One I think can generate a tremendous amount. She is ready for the pig sale, but I think one that's got a very high future. Show gilt Sal. I think she can win pig shows. Thanks again, Jay and Barbie. Tremendous sale. Looks like it's going to be a great sale.
Next breeder in will be Adam Beck.
Well, thanks to Jay and Barbie for having us come out. It's always a pleasure to come to one of Jay's sales. If this is your first time, it's always a top-notch event and always a blast to come. Our leadoff is going to be that 164 hog, and that hog is going to be out of shotgun back on a hero sow. His mother had our best fall litter by far. We would have sold a gilt there at the established for $22,000. Litter mate barrow, we would have sold at King's for $38,000 that the Salmon's family bought. And is feeding really well. So this one here, like I said, is a shotgun. Shotgun would be a burst son. That barrow this summer or fall would have been a burst. So we bred her back to this burst son, and we like that pig a great deal. I think for Expo, Louisville, Jackpot, I think that one's built right. His skull's stout, his legs are big, and they work the right way. 188, I told Jay when I entered, he did not have a Tamworth breed on his drop down in our Google form. So I didn't enter in what breed that was, but that is a Tamworth male. That's going to be tag 188. He is a Dynasty 92-2, the boar there at Tallman's that was a litter mate to that gilt they showed all summer that I don't think ever got beat. She was a very, very fun female to look at. And we bred quite a few of our tam sows to him, and like what we're having here, I think that one there, it should feed extremely well. His mother would have been the champion tam gilt at Louisville in 2021. She would be a full sibling to Petting Zoo, the boar that we raised that has done a phenomenal job all across the country. His mother herself has done a great job, raised a champion Tam Barrett Breeders' Cup last year. Really influential sow there at our place. So that's our two entries. Appreciate Jay and Barbie for having us. December's.
The next pair that comes in will be from Ogle.
Well, thanks, Jay, for having us here in the Midwest edition of the established tag 168. Directly in front of me is an all-out war Rusty Cage, and his mom would be a full sister to Soul from Lackey, and she was highly successfully campaigned in Louisiana when they showed her, and we were fortunate enough to get her back for a sow, and has done a very good job. That pig and that litter has been a standout for a while. And this is our first weekend out, rolling out over the next month or so at our sales. You'll see a lot of those all-out wars. The other male is a wide-eyed Young Love Soul. Soul. I'm getting Soul Sister and Soul. That sow is a Soul, wide-eyed Soul. And Wide-Eyed is a wide-awake son that Crossroads bought from True in the exchange last summer. I had a couple of those last night that were well received. Those hogs are just stout, good made, look like they'll feed and go. Sal's young, doesn't have her story. But, again, thanks for having us. Any questions, look me up in the back.
Next breeder in will be Schulte.
Well,
Well, thank you to Jay and Barbie for just another top-notch event. This is tag 155. This will be the Schulte Farms entry. This particular pig is sired by Kong at Premium Blend. Mother here is a buckle-up endgame. First-time gilt. Her littermate sister was reserve at the Northwest District in Oklahoma for the Inman boys, and second behind the reserve grand at OYE. So very good show gilt there. The grandma of this one was a open gilt purchase from Sloan. Actually came in the very first source sale, and I always joke with Troy that she might be the reason that he doesn't sell those open gilts at the end of the sale anymore, but has turned into a very good generator, and these buckle-up daughters are off to a very good start. But we sold 2 litter mates online. They brought 21,500 and 7,500, and we just always have 13-3 slated for this sale. But again, tag 155, Kong, buckle up, endgame. Thank you.
The last breeder in will be Hilty.
Yeah, well, sure appreciate the invite. Always enjoy being part of one of these events, and I've got some buddies that want to ride me a little bit about bringing these little ones out. But honestly, when there's one that we really like, it's hard for me to avoid the temptation and get them out where people can see them. And honestly, a couple of those have turned out really good that we've sold at this particular size. Really good litter, first litter gilt that's stout, wide, and hairy. This litter has been very well received. We sold 3 litter mate gilts in our sale there last weekend that averaged 11,000. And it was just kind of happenstance. The video of one of those gilts, this pig's kind of running in the background, and we had more questions about the pig in the back of the screen than we did his littermate sister that brought almost 17,000. So here he is. We like him a lot. I know that he's little, but I think maybe offers some of the further reaching pieces of one we've offered at this particular size. Again, pedigree is Kong to the extreme. Appreciate everybody, and on Jay's behalf, thanks to all the bidders and buyers being here. If you got any questions, look the guys up there in the back.
That'll conclude our preview here today. For those of you that are here, get your buyer's numbers over here at the table by the window over here to the left. Sale will start at 1 o'clock. It will be on CCI.live for those of you that are watching online. Thanks for coming. I guess I think a really good set of pigs, and I think Jay would agree. So thanks for everyone that's here. Thanks.